now, but it's the tariffs, right? We still have 145% tariffs on China. Your Treasury Secretary said we basically have an embargo on China.
Look, you're trying to say something's going to happen.
No. Okay, well,
nothing's going to happen.
You know business.
Terry,
I want to ask you.
I do know business.
Yes.
And
so 145% tariffs on China. And that's good. Basically
That's
an
good.
embargo.
They deserve it.
It'll raise prices on everything from electronics.
Yeah, Trump is not messing around when it comes to ABC, right? They already were forced to pay him millions of dollars, but they did another interview, and apparently this ABC host tries to trap Trump, and Trump just literally outmaneuvers him and repeats the lies right back to his face. We got to check this out because the topic of conversation is Trump's 100 days have been a failure, according to, let me ask you guys this before we even watch this video. Has Trump's first 100 days, have they been a failure? Do you regret your vote? That's what the mainstream media wants us to believe, especially with the tariffs. But let's take a look here at Donald Trump going back and forth with this ABC reporter. Take a listen.
You said something a couple weeks ago that struck me. You said concerning the tariffs, which economists say are going to raise prices, you said, quote, hang tough. Yeah. It won't be easy. You said that to the American people. Is that what Americans should expect, some hard times?
I've said that during my campaign. Look, we won a campaign by a lot. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. You know, we had a tremendous campaign. I said all of these things during my campaign. I said, you're going to have a transition period. We've been ripped off by every country all over the world. They're laughing at us. They thought we were stupid people, and we were. And I said, that's not going to happen. We're not going to let that happen.
Hard times are ahead?
I don't think so. I think great times are ahead. Look, since I came in, gasoline is down, groceries are down, egg prices are down, many things are down like we did. I took it from maybe $3.20, maybe more than that, down into a much lower number. When you have that kind of a drop, you're not going to have inflation.
Not now, but it's the tariffs, right? We still have 145% tariffs.
They're trying so hard to try to convince us, especially in front of Trump. He's trying so hard to convince us that this is bad. This is going bad. Watch Trump's reaction right here.
The drop, you're not going to have inflation.
Not now, but it's the tariffs, right? We still have 145% tariffs on China. Your Treasury Secretary said we basically have an embargo on China.
Look, you're trying to say something's going to happen.
No. Okay, well,
nothing's going to happen.
You know business. I want to ask you.
I do know business.
Yes, so 145% tariffs on China. And that's good. Basically an embargo.
They deserve it.
It'll raise prices on everything from electronics to clothing to building houses.
You don't know that. You don't know whether or not China's going to eat it.
That's mathematics.
China probably will eat those tariffs, but at 145, they basically can't do much business with the United States. And they were making from us $1 trillion a year. They were ripping us off like nobody's ever ripped us off. And by the way, we have other countries that were just as bad. If you look at the European Union, it was terrible what they've done to us. Every country, almost every country in the world was ripping us off. They're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Shut him down, Trump. Shut him down. He didn't even want to interrupt after that. He wanted to move on to the next question. But it comes down to that. Countries ripping us off for years, decades. We want better trade, fair trade, bringing manufacturing jobs back to America. We want the ball in our court so that way we can decide what it is that we want to do as a country. But to these reporters, it's just all time sensitive. They're all trying to clickbait and rage bait Americans into hating each other, and because that's where they benefit the most. They benefit the most not by Trump becoming successful or Democrats becoming successful. They benefit the most by chaos. Don't you see? When deaths happen, when car chases happen, every type of bad thing, that's where they make the most money. And that's what this ABC reporter doesn't even want to understand tariffs. He says to Trump, you're the business guy. Let me hear from you. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He just hears tariffs. He hears 145%. And doesn't understand that this is a good thing for Americans. Bring manufacturing back to America. Bring better trade, better fair trade. These corporations have been ripping off Americans for decades. They make things in China, slave labor over there. God knows what's going on in those factories, right? And then they come here and they sell it for quadruple the price. So they make it over there for $1. Over here, they sell it for $300. They're making crazy profits. And it's just a lot. It's a crazy dark world that Trump has exposed with the tariffs. And still, the mainstream media doesn't understand that. They don't understand exactly what we have found. But look, I'll tell you what though, right? Because they wanna make you hate Donald Trump in his first 100 days. Here's one clip that I found. They are trying to erase and basically say that Trump's tariffs are the reason why things are high and they've been high. Well, let's actually go here real quick. MSNBC. We're gonna go from ABC to MSNBC and watch how this Trump supporter shuts down this reporter trying to lie in her face. Take a listen.
Are you prepared to pay higher prices for goods?
I've been paying higher prices, sweetie, in the last. When Biden got in office, my groceries have doubled, my gas has doubled. No, I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it.
Are you prepared for more? We're looking at with the tariffs. These are massive.
No,
tariffs
but it has to happen before it goes back down.
Are you prepared?
Yeah. So again, so simple, but this is what it is. And what's so sad is like we've been paying higher prices. In fact, I look around, I see gas at 269, 270 in many parts of Texas now, and many parts of New York. Egg prices have gone somewhat down. They were like $10. They went to $6, $5 in certain areas. So the price of living has gone down. But again, we're just 100 days in. And again, this is all the media has. They have no superstar to come and take over and battle Trump on these ideas. They have nobody. The only thing they have is race wars, lies about tariffs, making you panic. That's all they got. It seems like this is all they got. So it's pretty crazy to see that, Trump going at it with an ABC reporter about the fact that we need to punish other countries for what they've done to us, and we need to step our foot. We need to stomp our foot. But still, it just doesn't seem that that's what Americans want. Americans just want Donald Trump out. You know what I think Americans want? I think Americans want politics to go back to, and the left side of America feels that way. When they say they want politics to go back to normal, what I think they mean is they don't want to care about politics. They don't care if they're getting ripped off. They don't care. They just want to stop thinking about it. And that's a bot mentality. Like that's an NPC, non-playable character, just walking around with nothing, just living life about nothing. There's no meaning to it. It seems like a lot of Americans just want to go back to, yeah, we're going to get ripped off, but I don't want to know about it. And that's a very dangerous mentality because that's how we got Iraq, Afghanistan, Taliban, ISIS. That's how we got all this crazy stuff in the last 20, 30 years by not paying attention. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Trump's first 100 days. What's your judgment? What's your score? 1 out of 10. Do you think he's doing amazing or do you think he's doing bad? Let me know down in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching.